we've got a major breaking news story coming out of the state of Maine, where Senator Susan Collins, the senator of Maine, has been officially blackmailed by an organization run or known to and controlled in some way, if not in all, by George Soros. Now, George Soros is a billionaire who is known for funding many different globalist, far left-wing, anti-American groups all over the world. He owns or funds groups which try to destroy, silence, censor populist, God-fearing, conservative politicians, pundits, and individuals in the United States and all over the world. So this is the type of person who is blackmailing Susan Collins, and his organization has said that they will give millions of dollars to Susan Collins' future opponent in the next Maine Senate election if she votes yes to confirm Judge Brett Kavanaugh. I'm saying he's going to be Justice Brett Kavanaugh. He's going to be confirmed. This is the right and just way. This is what every God-fearing person wants. God himself wants Brett Kavanaugh to sit on the bench. But put that aside for right now. Let's focus on the main story. An anti-American, far left-wing foreigner named George Soros is actually blackmailing a very legendary and senior politician in the United States, Susan Collins. Now, reports are that she is upset, she's angry. Many people are saying that she's more likely to vote yes for Judge Kavanaugh. But the thing is, Susan Collins is very unpredictable. She's like John McCain. Someone needs to investigate her. I'm going to investigate this Susan Collins because, she is. I'm not trying to attack her, but she's pretty familiar. If she's not a swamp creature, she's pretty familiar with the swamp. Let me read the article and the threat let me read the threat that George Soros's PAC or organization has sent out to the people of Maine and to Susan Collins. Quote, if Susan Collins, Senator Collins, votes no on Kavanaugh, you will not be charged and no money will go to fund her future opponent. That's what the platform wrote. If Senator Collins votes yes on Kavanaugh, your pledge will go to her opponent's campaign once the opponent has been identified. This is a group now. The liberal activist groups have posted the campaign on a platform, CrowdPack, drawing supporters and criticism, my friends. This is very important. You need to listen to this, especially if you live in Maine or you have the ability to vote in Maine. I'm very familiar with Maine. I actually grew up there when I used to live in Nova Scotia as a boy. My family, we went camping in Maine, and we had a home in Maine. I'm very familiar with Maine. It is a very humble, gracious state, a peaceful state, and the people of Maine are being blackmailed. They're under attack by a foreign anti-American named George Soros, billionaire. A crowdfunding campaign raises over $1 million as of Tuesday for the opponent, or the future opponent, of Susan Collins if she votes to confirm Brett Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court. Now, she says that this is bribery. And I'm reading from an article here from Fox News. Collins called it an attempt at extortion in a response through a spokeswoman, according to the Washington Post. Quote, and anybody who thinks these tactics would work on Senator Collins obviously doesn't know her, unquote. Spokeswoman Annie Clark said in a statement, quote, Senator Collins will make up her mind based on the merits of the nomination. Threats or other attempts to bully her will not play a factor in her decision-making whatsoever. And that's unquote. An ethics expert told the Post that, quote, it may very well violate federal bribery statutes. You all get the picture now, I feel. I feel that George Soros needs to be arrested. I feel that many like him need to be arrested. These foreign invaders of America, bribing American politicians, blackmailing them. This has gone on for many, many, many years. You don't know this, but there is a long list of money that will go from the floor to the top of the Empire State Building, which has been put in the pockets of American politicians, brought to you by George Soros and many anti-American globalists like him. And this is a message for the people of Maine and a message for Susan Collins. I will give my message to Susan Collins first. First of all, you cannot allow this. The die has already been cast. You cannot allow a foreign anti-American invader to get away with this. Your duty now is to vote for Brett Kavanaugh to show America and to show the people, the great people of the great state of Maine, that this invasion is unacceptable. Brett Kavanaugh is highly qualified. He has the merits. He has the experience. He has been a judge. There have been times when he has been on one side. There have been times when he's on the other side. I mean, regardless of if you think he's too extreme or not, no one can say that he is not qualified. And besides that, he's going to get elected. Now, Susan Collins needs to show her constituents in Maine that she will not be in the back pocket of George Soros, who hates Maine and who hates America and who hates Americans and who hates the Constitution. She will not be in this man's back pocket. She won't do it. And the people of Maine, if Susan Collins falls for this, because as I said, she, if not is a swamp creature, is very familiar with the swamp. But if she votes down Brett Kavanaugh, if she casts a vote against Brett Kavanaugh, then the people of Maine, the Republicans, the conservatives of Maine need to stand up and get rid of her in a Republican primary. They need to find someone who will actually have the guts to stand up to people like George Soros and the New World Order and all these Illuminati-loving, Bilderberg-attending swamp creatures, and vote for someone like that who will be your senator. The left, the Democrats, the liberals, all of them are collectively in the back pockets of the globalists. There was once a time when it was the other way around. Now the Republicans are the party of the people. And Susan Collins needs to understand that. And she needs to say to herself and make up her mind that she is going to spit in the face of George Soros and his organization, his anti-American PAC or super PAC or whatever it is, his charity or whatever it is, and she's going to say, to hell with you, George Soros. You're not going to bully me. I'm voting for Judge Kavanaugh. I'm going to do it for the people of Maine and for the people of America, and boom shakalaka goes right there. This is the Nation.